Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. I'm Johnny Hazel and this channel is dedicated to all things powerlifting and strength training. Now I'm going to kick off the launch of this channel by doing reviews of free online powerlifting programs. I'm going to start with novice programs, progress to intermediate and finish with advanced programs. I'm going to do 4 videos for the series of the novice ones. I've done the Grey Skull already. Check that out if you haven't seen it. It's on my channel. I've done the Bill Star 5 sets of 5. And now I'm going to do the Nsuns 531 program review. So let's get started. Now, as I said before in my previous videos, there's 3 criteria that determines which programs I choose. The first one is that it has to be free and available for everyone to access. Secondly, it must be in Excel spreadsheet format. Thirdly, it has to get my stamp of approval that it's a sensible, well-designed, logical program. So let's start with Nsuns. Nsuns 531 is pretty much a combination of the Jim Wendler 531 and the Boris Shaco pro training style, and it's merged into one, taking the strengths of each style of program and merging it into one, fixing the weaknesses of each program. So for example, the Jim Wendler common criticism is it lacks volume. So the Boris Shaco program, its common criticism is that it's too much volume each training week. So what it does is it takes the strengths of both, takes the volume from the Shaco and the frequency of training from the Jim Wendler and the 531 training system, merges it into one awesome hybrid program. And the Nsuns program came to life on Reddit quite a few years ago, and now it's got its own subforum where people ramble on about it for hours and hours, and there's a lot of information out there on Nsuns 531 if you want to check it out on Reddit. So this is the instructions, not much to say. Everything in here I will cover in this video. First thing you need to do, state whether you're doing this in kilograms or pounds. If you're doing it in kg, first thing you'll notice is the yellow highlighted cells in this section have disappeared. Do make note of that. That is everything where you see these the 1+ cells. So everything with these 1+, there's a reason for that, we'll talk about later, as well as the 1 rep max cells. They've all been highlighted yellow for a reason, but we'll keep it in pounds, keep it simple. Alright, so the first thing you're going to have to do is determine your 1 rep max. Now I've stated mine here, these aren't mine, but I've just put them in just because they're pretty easy numbers, rounded numbers. Right, so once you've done that, it will then calculate your TM. Now 1 RM stands for 1 rep max, if you didn't know that. TM stands for training max. The training max is 90% of your 1 rep max. It's based on the premise that not every training session you are going to be at 100%. You're going to have your bad days. So that gives you a 10% buffer, especially for a program such as this that is pretty high volume and quite a bit of frequency. You're training quite frequently. It gives you that buffer to avoid any risk of overtraining, the burnout, or potentially straining yourself or injuring yourself. So that's the logic behind it. It was popularized by Jim Wendler. As you can see up here in the formula bar, it is 90% of H13. H13 right here is your 1 rep max for your squat. Now all the formulas in the program are calculated off your TM, not your 1 rep max. I must state that clearly. So let's check out Monday. Monday is what I call the press volume day. As you can see, for the bench press, you're doing a minimum of 52 reps, yikes. And depending on how many you do on this final set, the 9th and final set, which is as many reps as possible, that could be more. It could be 55, it could be 60. We can see a pretty consistent sort of progression throughout this whole program. You start with lower intensity, 65% of your TM. For higher volume, higher reps, 8 reps, it then goes, the intensity increases, the volume decreases. It goes to 75%, 85%, 85%. You then do 3 straight sets of 85 for 4 reps, and then it goes back down the pyramid in terms of intensity, 80%, 75, 70, and 65 as the reps start to go up. And then you do your overhead press. The overhead press is a secondary exercise, an accessory exercise for the bench press, which is why it is lower intensity, starting with 50% of your press for 6 reps, and then it progresses to 60, 70, and then the rest, the other sets, are all 70% for a varying number of reps that tend to be higher volume. And you're doing a total of 44 reps. So again, this is a lot of volume, especially benchmarking it against the likes of the Grayskull program. Now the assistance exercises, the original program came with no information on what you can do. I have included some. On this day you do chest, you do arms, you do back. And on this sheet right here is a list of ideas I have on what accessory exercises you can choose. What the rep set, it recommends you do bodybuilding training scheme, so maybe 3 sets of 12, 4 sets of 10, more hypertrophy style training than strength style training, which would be more like, 5 sets of 5, 4 sets of 5, 4 sets of 4, 3 sets of 3, 2 sets of 3, 1 set of 1, whatever. That's more strength style training. They want you to do more hypertrophy style training, so higher volume training. These tend to be isolation exercises rather than compound exercises, but you can use compound exercises like the pendulum rows if you want, or maybe lunges. And Tuesday is what I call the squat day. You do the 5-3-1, so this is when the 5-3-1 comes into play, the Jim Wendler style training. Jim Wendler does it at the end of every training cycle. For this one, it's every week you do it. Now, depending how many reps you do on this final third set, for as many reps as possible, the plus symbol means as many reps as possible. This determines your new TM for the week. So for example, we come up here, let's say for the bench, I did a total of 3 reps. So if I did 0 to 1, I'd add no weight to the bar. 2 to 3, I add 5 pounds. 4 to 5 reps, I do 5 to 10. More than 5 reps, I do anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds and no more. But I've done 2 to 3. So I'm going to change that by 5 pounds. So I'm going to take my squat. I'm going to check it out. Where's my squat? It's right here. I'm going to change it from 635 pounds to 630 pounds to 635. Booyah. Now I advise saving another file of this program, because once you enter that information, it erases that formula. It's gone. So it's good to save another file of this if you want to use this program again, so you don't lose that formula, this ceiling formula here. So that's what you do, and then you finish it with what I call the volume sets. This makes sure it's not just a few reps. You're doing a total of 27 reps, minimum 27, but maybe more depending on how many you do on these as many reps as possible sets, the 9th one and the 3rd one. And then you do what I call the secondary assistance exercise for the deadlift, which in this case is the sumo deadlift, because I could pull conventional. So if you pull sumo at a meet, that's your competition lift, you do the conventional here. This is again the same principle, lower volume, lower intensity, higher volume. So we start with just 50% of the deadlift, 60%, 60, 70%, and then straight sets of 70% for some higher volume sets. And you only do 8 sets rather than 9, and a total of 44 reps. So it's pretty high volume stuff. Then you finish with some assistance training, legs and abs. Wednesday's the day off, Thursday's training day, and we do the 5-3-1 for the bench. So now we're going to set a new TM. So again, same as the squat, it's 75% of your TM, 85%, 95% of your TM for as many reps as possible. And let's say I did a total of 4 reps. So I'm going to add 10 pounds to this, my new to my TM. So I come to my bench right here, not the 1 rep max, the TM, the training max. I changed that from, okay, so let's say I did 5 reps. Let's say I add 10 pounds on. So let's change it from 315 to 325. And that is my new TM. Okay, once you've found that, finish it off with these what I call volume sets. Now, important to make note, do not change your TM for this session. Make note of how many reps you've done and change it afterwards. So once you've finished this set, you continue doing these additional sets after that for the same TM you lifted for this one, not your new TM. So it's not 325 for these sets right here, the ones after you finish that 5-3-1, it's your original one, which was 315 pounds. Just important to make note of that. Then you do the close grip bench. Now CG stands for close grip, which is about a shoulder width grip. You want to do this to strengthen your triceps and a stronger lockout. And again, it's low intensity, high volume, 40% of your TM. And again, same principle applies. Use your original TM, not your new TM, to do this one. And you do 40%, 50%, 60%, and then you do the remaining sets for a varying number of reps for 60%, totaling 44 reps. Then you do your resistance training for bodybuilding hypertrophy style set rep scheme, 3 sets of 12, 4 sets of 10, followed by a little bit of light cardio. Maybe you want to do a HIIT workout, or just do some light cardio, steady state cardio on the treadmill, the elliptical machine, stationary bike, whatever you want to do. The final day is the deadlift day. What I call the deadlift day, you do the 5-3-1, same principle as the bench, same principle as the squat. Finish it with what I call the volume sets, and you do a total of 27 reps minimum. You then do the front squat, fantastic secondary assistance exercise for the squat, for lower intensity, higher volume, and you do a total of 43 reps. I've chosen some example assistance exercises here. You don't have to do these, you can do whatever you want, but these are just some examples that I've given you. Once you've run this program and you're starting to plateau, meaning you can't add any more weight each training session, you're reaching the limit, you're hitting the wall, progress to the 5-day. 5-day is the exact same as the 4-day, with the exception to this day right here, the Wednesday. The overhead press has now become a main lift, so you are now doing the 5-3-1 for the overhead. So that's something to bear in mind. And instead of using the overhead as a secondary exercise and accessory exercise, you replace it with the incline barbell press, and that is based off your bench press, not your overhead press. And that same principle, you do lower intensity, higher volume each sets. For the secondary and the overhead press, you do 5-3-1, work out your new TM, and then finish with these what I call the volume sets. So you complete 9 sets. Once you've run this program for as long as you can, if you start to notice that your deadlift, your squat is starting to plateau and you're not making any more gains on a weekly basis, choose the 6-day focus program. So if your squat is the weakest of the two, or your deadlift is the weakest of the two, go straight into that program. For me, it would be the squat, let's say. And the difference between the 5-day, 6-day is the fact that on Saturday you are doing a squat or a deadlift session, and you're doing 8 sets of 3 for 72.5% for the squat or the deadlift. As you can see on Saturday, we do the exact same thing as the squat focus, 8 sets of 3, 72%. And you are then doing either the deadlift or squat accessory secondary exercise. On the squat, you're going to do the sumo or conventional. On the deadlift, you're going to do just the front squat. So that's the only difference. So that is the program summarized all in all. Now, I give this program 9 out of 10. I really like this program for quite a few reasons. Firstly, I like the layout of the spreadsheet. Now, I added this in, so it's actually less complicated than it looks. I like the fact that you're increasing based on your TM, how many reps you do on the 5-3-1 each week, and that therefore determines your new TM. I like that training idea. I really like that, especially for a novice lifter. I like the volume in this program. It's not too much, not too little. It hits that sweet spot. It's perfect, especially for the pressing days, your bench press. You've got more than enough volume to really make some good strength gains for your bench press. I like the choice of accessory exercises for the lifts. I like the close grip, the front squat, sumo conventional, overhead press, incline press. I like these accessory exercises. I like the idea that you're doing assistance training as well to create that hypertrophy, put some mass on. And again, don't put too much focus on that assistance training. You're not a bodybuilder, you're a powerlifter. And I like the fact that you make this progression from 4-day to 5-day to a 6-day focus, and you've got that option between a deadlift or the squat focus. That's a really cool progression, especially for a novice lifter. It introduces you into this concept of training in blocks. So it's a really good program. I like it a lot. So I highly recommend this program for a later stage novice. So someone maybe about 9 to 12 months experience, not an early stage. If you like this video, please do like the channel, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications to keep up to date with all my videos. Comment below if you have any ideas on programs I could review that I've missed. And also check out my social media, because I've got lots of cool content on there, my powerlifting, my lifestyle in Phuket, Thailand, my training out here at the beach, and also the program links are in the description below as well, where you can download them. Have a good day, keep lifting, and stay strong out there.